hard to tell that I'm going through it. Everything I set my hand to, I put the most into it. This ain't a party, this emotion music. Just play the beat and let me open to it. Get the spirit floating through it. Let's turn our books to Deuteronomy 28. Wait, I am that in the flesh. So read it through my life if you don't read that text. But even through the curses, I am still Kodesh. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm trampled underfoot, a sample of the hook. My life is like the book, stole away by crooks. Walk to this land where I'm less than a man. That's according to the nations, cause they just don't understand. Born in the class that I started with an F in, failed automatically, didn't even get the lesson. All my fellow peers get to prove they self, cause they started with an A in the bucket of wealth. I'm turning back to Yah as my final appeal, cause I'm cursed on this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real, cause I'm cursed in the city, I'm cursed in the field. Gotta be strong as a Hebrew man, so we can be as many as the grains of sand. Inheritance is coming with the sands of time. No Scarface, but the world is mine. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. Cause I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Hear ye, they leading us astray. All these false prophets, they portray as Moshe. They portray as Moshe. Ask Eddie about the curses, he'll tell you no way. The smoke fills the room, Babylon's doom came out of her like a baby from the womb. My people are consumed, they want to be her groom. I want to bear fruit, put me in the loom. Show me I'm the one, I want to be your son. Turning back to you has helped me be what I've become. Look at the moon, look to the sun. Two beautiful creations, one beautiful pun. Yahushua has won and he has overcome. So when my time is done, I just pray I'm not shunned. I want to be one with your laws and commandments, so I can beat this curse. I really can't stand it. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I'm turning back to Yah as a final appeal. I'm walking this road and it's bruising my heel. So you ain't gotta tell me that the curses is real. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field.
All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your Akazaki Yahoo, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say, Shalom wa Baruki. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, and back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone. Hallelujah. All praises to her Abba. All right. Last time I had What's in the News. We played some music. We vibed out. Came up with a new segment. Well, this is What's in the News. Because I'm going to tell y'all, I saw this before I went to work earlier. And I went to work pissed, not happy, not cool, not okay, not a good day. All right. So we're going to get into this story. And I want y'all to understand, man, what your enemy thinks about you, what your enemy will do to you. And it's time we wake up, Israel, Yasha'Allah, anybody who know who we are, what we are meant to be doing. It's time for us to get wise to the game, because these devils, what's in the news? Headline: student awarded after wearing blackface at football game. Outrage erupts. My good brother, Dr. Rashad Ritchie, indisputable, brings us this story.
2 students awarded after wearing blackface at a high school, at a school event. I kid you not. Put it up full mask. Hell of a thing. 2 students at a high school in Utah have been awarded for school spirit.
School spirit.
After showing up to a football game in full blackface. The following photo was taken at a Pine View High School in southern Utah. Images posted on a school affiliated social media page. Did you hear me? School affiliated social media page displays one student with black face paint covering his entire face and another wearing paint covering every area except of his face, except his mouth and chin area. According to KU TV Local, the incident happened at a blackout football game at Pine View High School on Friday, August 23rd. Students were to wear all black clothing in spirit of the event. However, 2 white male students showed up wearing blackface, covering most of their faces. The 2 students were posing with the cheerleading squad after being awarded for school spirit. Now, I want you to think about something, okay? As much as we have talked about what blackface means, as much as we have talked about the offenses of blackface, hell, you can just Google blackface and you get a history lesson right there. The multiple elements involved in blackface, how black actors, when they were allowed to act decades ago in the United States of America, they had to put black paint on their black face because the white audiences did not want to see their natural black skin. That's just one permeation of blackface. Minstrel shows, etc. Blackface. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable.
When I tell y'all, man, I watched this thing and was so hot. Let's continue. This is crazy.
This blackface dynamic cannot, at this point, no one can say, I don't know what it means. You cannot tell me you don't know what it means. Not at this point. So these individuals decide to show up in blackface. Not only do they show up in blackface, they get awarded for showing up in blackface. Social media users and parents local to the school were appalled. They all knew what blackface meant. Edward Wright, the father of a black student at the school, reposted the photo showing the students' appearances, writing, quote, "This ish is ridiculous." Wright said some of his other children have been called racial slurs at schools in the district. You don't say. I mean, that's the most unshocking thing about this whole story. But they've been called racial slurs in the district that Pine View is a part of. He highlighted how important education on race is in school, but underscored that it does start at home. Some parents at the game reported they were dismayed that no school administrator or faculty member who was present did anything to address the student's appearance. So what do you have? You have students You have parents, they know what blackface is. They understood what these white males were doing. They were appalled that nobody in the administration stood up, said something, said this is not appropriate. Not only did they not say anything, they gave them an award. There's more. The school issued a statement, as they always do, but it's not clear if the students received any disciplinary action. An excerpt from the statement reads, and I quote, "We work hard to create a space where all students can feel safe. We are disheartened that this took place, and we apologize to our students and community for any offense that was felt because of this incident. This should not have happened." End quote. Wait, put the school back up. Wait. So instead of apologizing to the Black culture whom you offended, you did the traditional pivot and apologize to everybody. We apologize to all students.
Everybody.
Instead of talking about how this won't be tolerated and there will be discipline, you decided to say this should not have happened. Instead of highlighting the reality that your administrators, your faculty members did nothing but awarded the individuals who engaged in this kind of racial bigotry, you provide no context as to your actions to stand up against this level of insanity. I call you out on this and I will follow up. Sharon, you see what's happening here? They got caught. They celebrated it. They liked it. They gave them an award. Here's the problem. It got posted on a school affiliated Facebook page, and now the world gets to judge what they did. And all of a sudden, they don't know who the hell did what.
Yeah. And you're right to point out how the apology lacks context. So it's up to us to fill in the gap. I believe that they must be apologizing to the students because some rabble rousers, some more woke parents have said, this isn't right. Sounds like that's what they're apologizing for. This is a racist, fully racist environment. And the statement's also a lie. They don't seek to support the comfort and care of all people in their school community. They seek to, I guess, make racist white kids feel comfortable.
Yeah, because it seems like, nothing's going to happen to them. And yeah, all right, but I guarantee you will follow up. 2 students.
Yeah, give them an award because no. I try to stay clean when I do these broadcasts. This is beyond anything reasonable. You can't watch this and just be cool. I mean, if you watch this and you just like, no big deal. It don't really mean that much. It don't really mean nothing. They just children, whatever the case. You need to sit down and be quiet. Because that behavior is learned behavior. I don't give a doggone if infants and toddlers are doing it. That's learned behavior. So they getting it from someplace. And that's where they're getting it from is infuriating. That's what's in the news. That's what's happening in this society right here, right now. 2024, they doing blackface in high school. High school, they doing blackface. What a ridiculous trope. Let's get to some battle music. My bad, I missed some battle music.
All my warriors stand up. Put your battle armor on. From spiritual wars. Then we from physical wars. Y'all don't deal with no cowards. We can't be defeated, let them know from the
the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. We can't be defeated, let them know from the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. Before you go to battle, you should know what you up against. When Yah sends his army on a mission, it ain't no defense. Have the latest weapons up. Go and learn Kung Fu, or you can read The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu. You gon' need all of the above when we come through. When Yah sends the order out, where you gon' run to? Sword drawn off with your head like a guillotine. You read what we did to the Canaanites and Philistines, trembling in fear on their faces when we hit the scene, giving the command, so we wiping out everything. When Yah puts our enemies under our hand, just like back in the land, put them under the ban. Man, woman, a child, let none of them stand. To the last detail, we executing the plan. Whether Joshua and Jericho, David and Goliath, see it's already written in the end, we triumph. We can't be defeated, let them know from the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. We can't be defeated, let them know from the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. Don't get it twisted, I can't join your army, I'm a soldier for Yah, and I'm already enlisted, fully committed, put my life on the line. We recruiting more brothers, told I Yah, if you with it. When the children of Zion get to roaring like a lion, we'll clash with a titan, fallen angel or giant. We ain't frightened, so we fighting in the day into the night. When we see our enemies, then it's on sight. You can call on Jesus, he ain't coming to the rescue. He gon' be hiding, so how he gon' help you? All I done left you, now you on your own, and you get the same portion of reward for the wrong. This is more than a song, it's already written, Jeremiah 51. If you thinking that I'm tripping, knowing how to kill your enemy is key for survival. You should have a bow and arrow, slingshot, or a rifle. In Yah I trust, and this is the truth here. If you a coward, then you have no use here. Set apart spirit got me feeling like Samson when the army go marching out. This is the anthem. We can't be defeated, let them know from the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, Yah's weapons of war. We can't be defeated, let them know from the door. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, Yah's weapons of war.
Yah's weapons of war. Man, I tell you what. Boy, it can get frustrating. All of this stuff going on all around. Everybody want to talk this and that. And then you got, in 2024, you got white students, so-called white students, doing blackface in a high school, in a doggone high school, and they get rewarded for it. What kind of foolishness is this? Man, we don't need that foolishness. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. Truthfully. All right. I'm going to jump to this next story. We're going to get ready to get up out of here. I only got these two for us tonight because that's really about all I can stomach. Because everything else is just making me angry. And I mean angry. So we're going to jump to this next story now. Remember, links in the description box, as always. Where can I even start? I don't even know where to start, truthfully. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. My people, anybody who know me, know I love my people. Love my people. Hebrew Israelites, so-called black man, woman, and child. I love you all. You are children of Israel. And I appreciate all that you have done and all that you have been through. You deserve everything, truthfully. And the only reason I say that is not to butter you up or to get you to call in or none of that. I'm saying this because this is the honest to the power truth. You know, what my people have endured over these years is enough. Truthfully. Truthfully. All right, so I want you to be mindful, Israel. And I want you to be cognizant of what's going on around you, what they're showing, what they're doing. Because I want you to understand that these people will take great lengths to go at you. And that's what this next story is talking about. These people will take great lengths to go at us. All right? Dig this. The name of this story, or the name of this video, is called the Backpack Gun Project. Link is in the description box. Now, this particular video highlights what these heathen are talking about and what they are doing. They are prepared. They're not getting prepared. They're not looking to be prepared. They are prepared for battle. The only hope we have is Abba Yah. We have no other hope but Abba Yah. I'm telling you, because these heathen, they are prepared to take us out en masse. En masse. All right, let's get to the video. Salaki. My bad. Here's the video.
And for today, I am not talking about a gun that you take with you on a backpacking trip. A backpack gun or bag gun is usually a PDW type firearm that's small enough to fit in the kind of inconspicuous bag that you might carry with you in public on a daily basis. For those of us working in an office, it might be
the type of gun that you can carry with you in a bag on a daily basis. Listen to the words that this heathen is using.
kind of laptop bag, or it could be a diaper bag or a gym bag or a briefcase, something that is not going to look out of place for you in your everyday life. The gun itself,
they're camouflage. The bag is camouflage. It looks like nothing, but it's a doggone assault weapon in the bag. It's an assault weapon in the bag. They are ready for full-on assault coming out the bag.
is often a short-barreled carbine or a large format pistol with a stabilizing brace, but it could also be a takedown rifle or even a stockless shotgun. I have got my personal backpack gun set up here that I've been working on, and I will show you guys the gun and the backpack itself in great detail in just a minute. First, I want to talk about some of the why behind the backpack gun.
Watch this.
As the saying goes, the mission drives the gear train. It is always fun to look at some cool gear, but there's really not much point if we don't know what it's for. Prior to this year, the idea of incorporating a long gun into your everyday carry was not really a mainstream concept in the shooting and self-defense world. A lot of us had certainly thought about it, but I don't think many people were actually going to the trouble of actually doing it on a regular basis. I know a lot of people have discrete bags or cases that they use to transport their gun from one place to another without drawing attention, something that doesn't look like a gun case. And I've seen some backpack guns that are used for pest control or hunting or things like that. But this most recent wave where people have been sharing their bag gun setups on social media, the guns seem to be geared toward personal protection and everyday carry. So what's changed? Why are backpack?
Personal protection. That means that's code for battle. Personal protection is code for battle. Those are for battle and fighting against your enemy. That's why these backpack guns are popping up. And watch what as he continues here. Watch this.
Guns suddenly relevant. Well, for me, there are two major factors that come to mind. The first is innovation in the firearms market. Compact carbines and shotguns have been popular for a long time, but within the last few years, we have seen huge strides in those product categories. There are the folding stock adapters, the pistol stabilizing braces, a ton of new compact pistol caliber carbines, and new rifle loads and even calibers that are optimized for short barrels. These new products certainly have plenty of uses beyond just backpack guns, but the fact that they are commonly available has sort of opened the door for people to apply them to the role of everyday carry. The second and probably more important factor is that 2020 happened. Now, I don't want to be an alarmist. I know the news media paints a pretty grim picture right now, but I think most of our cities are still generally very peaceful places to be 99.9% of the time. Here in Knoxville, for example, it's not all doom and gloom. Nobody's setting cars on fire yet, and the kid at Chick-fil-A still says "my pleasure" when I thank him for the chicken nuggets, at least for now. But I think the events of this year have highlighted just how fragile that peace can be. It doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to come up with a plausible future in which it might make sense to keep a long gun close at hand when you're outside the home.
Yeah, get ready for conflict. That's what he's saying. It might make sense to have a long gun close by when you're outside of home. Get ready for conflict. That's what he's mean. That's what he means.
Unless you think we're there already. Normally, the kinds of serious violent threats that we as law-abiding private citizens are most vulnerable to are crimes like armed robbery, home invasion, sexual assault, stuff like that. Typically, those involve 1 to 3 attackers inside about 20 feet. If we don't have any other option, a small handgun, a well-practiced draw stroke, and a willingness to act are usually enough to get us out of those situations. Today, however, we are hearing more about rioting, mob violence, potential acts of domestic terrorism, and just a general potential increase in violent crime as a result of inadequate law enforcement.
Yeah. So violent crime, they say violent crime is the product of so-called black people. That's what they believe. So anytime they use these little buzzwords, and these little buzzwords have meaning in their circles. So when they saying these things, they know what they're saying one to another. We have to understand what they're saying. So they're saying, oh, black people do crime, so they come to do crime against you. You better be prepared, and you better have you a 30-round magazine ready to defend yourself. That's what he's saying here. That's exactly what he's saying. So let's continue.
What happens if you're being threatened by a large, violent group of people who has targeted you in particular for some arbitrary reason?
a large group of people who have targeted you, what happens when the so-called blacks start attacking us? That's what he's saying. When the blacks start attacking us, we got to be prepared.
What do you do if you find yourself stuck between two competing groups of rioters and they're blocking the path between you and your vehicle? What if
Yeah. So two black people, or two groups of black people involved in conflict. Now you in between. So now it's your job to shoot your way out.
a mob surrounds your office building and they start chucking rocks and Molotov cocktails through the windows? Again, the likelihood of these scenarios is still pretty remote on average for most of us. But if that changes, it would be a good idea to have your options figured out ahead of time. Now, I don't want to imply that a long gun or backpack gun is always the best solution to any of these potential problems. In fact, as things stand now, it's probably a very poor solution most of the time. As always, deadly force is an option of last resort. If I find myself in a situation where a carbine is coming out of my backpack, I've probably either not been paying attention to what's going on around me, or I have made some serious errors in judgment. That's particularly the case with mob violence. Avoidance or escape are almost always better solutions. I am going to leave a couple of links below to articles by Greg Elefritz. Greg has done an excellent job of addressing the dynamics of crowd violence and how to recognize it before you're stuck in the middle of it. Greg also has some good information on this topic in his new book, Choose Adventure. These problems are not novel. They are just novel to us as Americans who grew up after the 1960s. There are a lot of lessons to learn from people who have studied and survived mob violence in other countries and at other times when that kind of thing was more commonplace. We also have to be aware that using deadly force in a crowd has some serious legal implications. I've got another link for you on that topic. It's an excellent interview with Massad Ayub that I highly recommend you read. He talks about the important distinction between rioters, a mob, and legitimate protesters. He also points out that some of the crowd-related violence that we're seeing right now is often being perpetrated by just a few bad actors who are using a crowd of legitimate peaceful protesters as a kind of camouflage. If you start blindly firing into a crowd like that, you are absolutely going to come out as the bad guy. And really, in general, carrying a long gun in public is going to be perceived by most Americans as an inherently offensive rather than defensive act. A jury of 12 people who have never touched a gun before might be open to the idea that a person could possibly carry a concealed handgun for legitimate self-defense. That's something they've at least heard of before. Convincing them that you carry a rifle or a pistol that very much resembles a rifle purely for self-defense could be a serious uphill struggle in comparison. So what does all that mean as far as the mission of the backpack gun? I think it still has a role. It's just a very narrow one. As I see it, a backpack gun might be a good tool under circumstances where, one, I'm outside the home. If I'm at home, I probably have access to a bigger gun. Number two, I'm in a place that I can't easily escape, or I'm acting in defense of someone else who can't escape, which would most likely be a family member. Number three, I am facing a credible deadly threat with enough advance warning to have time to actually retrieve the gun from the backpack. Number four, I'm in a situation where being seen with a long gun is not going to automatically make me a target. And that most likely means I've already been clearly targeted for violence and there's no law enforcement around. And number five, it's a situation where using a long gun would give me better odds of survival than my concealed handgun. That's not a comprehensive list, but if I can check all five of those boxes, my backpack gun might start looking like a good option. With all that in mind, let's go back to the workshop area and take a look at some actual hardware. Setting up a backpack gun has the same kind of challenges as figuring out your concealed carry hardware. There's some gear that is objectively bad, and there's some that's objectively good. But every person's situation is different, and there's no magic equipment that's going to work well for everybody. For me, I decided the gun had to easily fit in the kind of unassuming bag that I might take to the office or to the park or anywhere else I might go on foot in the city or the suburbs. I also wanted enough room in the bag for my laptop and other everyday stuff. It's not just a gun bag. So for the gun, that meant that the size and weight would be top priorities. Budget was another concern. I didn't want to pay too much more than I would setting up a standard mid-grade AR-15. So around $1,200 or less for the base gun before any optics and accessories. I ruled out rifle calibers pretty early on. I am not really interested in firing an unsuppressed short-barreled rifle without hearing protection, especially if it's a gun I might end up firing inside my car. So I was mostly looking at pistol caliber carbines, and based on previous experience, I knew I wanted to avoid direct blowback guns if possible. So that really helped me narrow down the options pretty quickly right from the beginning. I eventually decided to assemble my own 9mm AR. It is just under 19 inches overall length with the stock collapse. It's got a 5-inch barrel without any of the accessories, and unloaded, it weighs about 4.4 pounds. Fully loaded with 30 rounds of 9mm in this configuration with all this stuff on it, it comes in at 6.4 pounds. This is a registered NFA short barreled rifle. Some of you might remember seeing a version of this gun a few weeks ago in the video I did about SBRs versus pistol braces. This is basically a standard AR upper and lower receiver, but I'm using a CMMG radial delay blowback bolt, barrel, and magazine conversion kit. This is not something that was on my radar at all until I saw a video that Ian McCollum from Forgotten Weapons did on it. He did a great job of explaining how the radial delay blowback system works, so I will not go into that. All you really need to know for now is that this is not a direct blowback design like most pistol caliber carbines. That means it shoots a lot softer and cleaner than a typical 9mm AR. You also don't get all that gas blowing back in your face if you run it with a suppressor. In order for this to work with a standard lower, CMMG partnered with Mean Arms to make these magazine kits that convert a 5.56 Magpul PMag to 9mm. All you have to do is remove the original spring and follower and insert this adapter kit. You can also buy pre-assembled mags from CMMG if you don't have any spare PMags laying around. In either case, there are no modifications required to the lower receiver itself, so I can still use this lower with a normal rifle caliber upper if I want to. To me, that was a huge benefit because I already had this lower. If I decide I don't like this configuration for whatever reason, I am not stuck with a registered SBR lower that is specific to a certain caliber or to some type of non-standard magazine. CMMG also offers the radial delay blowback system in a complete gun called the Banshee, formerly known as the Guard. Depending on the caliber, they've got versions with a standard AR lower like this one, or pistol-specific lowers that take Glock, Colt, or SIG P320 mags. I was not really crazy about the way the Banshee was configured, and like I said, I already had this complete lower, so I opted to buy just the CMMG bolt and barrel kit. The upper and lower I'm using are both from Aero Precision. The handguard is a Midwest Industries M-Lock compatible combat rail. There really aren't a whole lot of 4.5-inch handguards on the market to choose from. I like this one because it's got integrated sling attachment points. That is a major asset on a small handguard that barely just has enough room for a decent grip.
All right, I'm not going to show this entire video here, but what I want you to understand, and what I want everybody to understand, what I want my people to understand, is that we need to get ready. And our readiness is spiritual because our adversaries are carnal. Our adversaries are completely and utterly carnal. And they'll do everything under Shamayim to harm us. And the only protection that we're going to have is Ha'aba, is the Father. We're not going to have protection from these adversaries with matching gun for gun, bullet for bullet. All right? That's not going to happen. Our adversaries are prepared for war. They're prepared. Meanwhile, our people are head in the clouds, chasing the American dream, not even thinking anything about any type of resolution, about any type of conflict, for real conflict. Nothing on reserve, no ammunitions, no maintenance, nothing. You even got a decent pair of combat ready pants that'll stay up on your behind, and some sturdy boots, some sturdy shoes. I hate to say this, but if this was a gun-to-gun fight, man, yeah. So that's what's in the news. Your adversary, he's ready for you. He's got a backpack with a gun in it, semi-automatic rifle style gun, ready to take your behind out. You better be ready. And I don't mean with your pistol, with your AR-15, with your AK-47, with your 30-06, with your deer rifle, with your squirrel rifle. You better be ready. You better be prayed up. You better be fasted. You better be keeping these commandments, because that's the only hope that you got. I promise.
Yeah. Hey, woe to our enemies, man. Woe for the destruction, those who praying for the nonsense out here. Woe to it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
South 71 Music.
Whoa, whoa, whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa, whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace. Whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace. Whoa to your lies, man. Now I see the enemy disguised, man. Trying to get advice from a wicked spot. It's a lot of pride living in this wicked time. Whoa, a lot of fake prophecy. Whoa to hypocrisy and your fake doctrines. Whoa, I'm trying to live apple clean. Whoa to your Baphomet and your wicked blasphemy. Whoa, I gotta do the right thing. I gotta warn my people of their lies, man. Whoa, I said I gotta do the right thing. I gotta warn my people of their lies, man. Whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace. Whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace.
Whoa to them all, hope you show me my flaw. Trying to break this connection from this throw up on my dog. When I see it, it look good. Wanna lick it, wanna gnaw. So I'm praying, I'm like, no, I gotta stay up in these laws. I know you heard my prayer, praying that you hear me now. Used to take me by the hand, I hope you with me now. Man, they all up in my dreams, saying switch aside, saying please don't release me to this demigod. Hope you Lord with him. Woe to them all. Woe to them all. I hope the Lord with them, but it's woe to them all. If they wanna see us fall. Wow. Whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace. Whoa to destruction. Got a Hebrew out here trying to function. Whoa to my enemies. I gotta thank the Father for my inner peace. Whoa.
71 Music.
Woe to my enemies. Who can bring woe to my enemies? Ha'abba, Hamashiach, The Malachim, that's who we got to depend on. The power of our fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, the power of Jacob, the power of Israel. Whatever name you choose to call him, our power can handle our enemies. He said in the text, he would have been moved his hand against our enemies if we would have just did the right thing instead of the wrong thing. Instead, we call ourselves trying to be like the nations and do what they do. And our people right here today want to be like the nations and do what they do. Operate in wickedness, just like they do. And they don't have a clue. Close this thing on out before I get emotional on here. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so important that we understand we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, all the dust is settled, all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged, or rather, we feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the entire reason that we are here. I am your Akazaki Yahoo, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say, Shalom wa Baruchi. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait until the Most High Power brings us back again, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone. Until that day come, Shalom, Israel.
If you hearken to Yah Elohim, then you won't see these curses, no, in your dreams. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field. Blessed be the fruit of your body is real. Blessed be thy basket, blessed be thy store. The house you store food, overflowing more and more. Keep God's commands, and you will be the head. If you fail, you're the tail, then you will be dead. Yah, save us now. In our captivity, Yah, help us now. In our captivity, Yah, deliver us now. In our captivity, help us out, Yah, help us out, Yah, help us out, Yah. The curses, prophecy will come to pass, know that these curses are real, and it's a proven fact that our people turn their back on the Most High Yah and bow to the sun, the stars, the moon, Allah. The punishment are the curses that we see. Yah will make pestilence cleave unto thee. The burning, the itch, the baldness on your head. After that, Yah will break the staff for your bread. Yah, save us now. In our captivity, Yah, help us now. In our captivity, Yah, deliver us now. In our captivity, help us out, Yah. come to pass, know that our people are cursed. We need to come back to the Most High's laws, statutes and commands. These curses will overtake you upon your land. Cursed in the city, cursed in the field. Planting all your crops, no fruit it will yield. The sound of a leaf will make you run away. You will build cities, but your family won't stay. A nation will come, swifter than the eagle. Your carcass will be meat, entertainment for the people. Then I will punish you 7 more times. Thus saith God for your evil, wicked crimes. Madness, blindness, astonishment of heart. You think God's done? But look, it's just a start. Repent, yeah, it's real, before it's too late. These curses don't have to be our whole nation's fate. God, save us now. In our captivity, God, help us now. In our captivity, God, deliver us now. In our captivity, help us out, y'all. Help us out, y'all. Help us out, y'all. The curses, prophecy will come to pass, know that these curses are real. Our people blow crack, our people serve gods of wood and stone. A gay Jesus, yeah, they put him on the throne. God will bring you back to Egypt on ships. The fear in your heart, you can't get rid of it. Repent, my people, before it's too late. New Jerusalem or the fire